What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down why we're going to see a lot of volatility very later on in the markets. Some very important levels to be watching for. But before I continue devil's information, before I talk about what's happening with the markets, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, for the markets, I just want to remind you all that there's not really much data coming out for today. All the data is very minor, at least for the first couple of hours. And then at 2 p.m., that's when more data comes out that's going to cause crazy volatility. So for the first couple of hours of the day, not much is coming out. Then at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when we have the interest rate hike decision. The FOMC economic projections will be coming out at that time. And then at 2:30 p.m., that's when we have, Jerome Powell giving his speech. And that's going to cause some crazy volatility in the markets. That's when things end up going berserk. So we'll have to watch and see what happens with all that stuff coming out. But generally, what happens is the market is kind of slow, doesn't make as crazy moves for the first couple of hours. And then once it's 2 p.m., that's when we see the big surge. That's when the real moves start. So right now we're going to be looking to see how things end up moving. Right now, we're not seeing much happening. We are seeing the Dow actually up a little bit. Same thing happened with the S&P 500, dropping and trying to pop. And the Nasdaq is also up just a little bit after yields dipped so far. So we'll just have to see how the market's doing. It is holding up so far. Right now, don't forget that for the year we have our FOMC meeting, and Jerome Powell is going to be talking a lot. We'll be watching to see what the dot plots suggest that comes out from the Fed. That is going to be very important about future projections and what the Fed could end up doing moving forward. Intel has been awarded about $8.5 billion in CHIPS Acting funding. That's from the White House, and that's a very, very important grant. It's a part of an effort by the Biden administration to bring semiconductor manufacturing to the U.S. soil, at least according to reports. Now, there could be different nuances about this. You could say whatever you want about it, that's fine. But this, once again, has been decent news for Intel, and we're just going to leave it at that. This could also have a big effect on companies like Nvidia and AMD. For Bitcoin, it kept falling on Wednesday. At one point, it dropped below $61,000, which is more than $10,000 below last week's record high. That's something that's very important. We'll see how things change from here, but so far, we're seeing a little cool off in the crypto space. Moving forward, we also have the French luxury group Kering. It basically warned on Wednesday that the company's Gucci sales are headed towards a 20% decline on a year-over-year basis. So that's very, very important. We are seeing a lot of companies seeing declines here and there with the high interest rates and slowing down demand within our economy. Moving forward, let's talk about how else things are looking. What else do I see happening on the charts? So for SPY, this pre-market session has been very, very range bound. We have resistance at 516.5. If we break past that, we could go all the way up to 517.5 and attempt to fill this imbalance up there. If we break below 515, we could start sinking towards 514.2, then 513.5, followed by 512.5. But here are the levels, at least from the EMA standpoint. So once again, we have that support at 514.2 and also that 513.5. It kind of aligns with the EMAs. And we are starting to decline just a little bit, so we could actually still a little bit more before we attempt to like rebound a bit. So I think that SPY is going to trade sideways, maybe fall just a little bit, come back to this imbalance down here, this 513 area, then come back up and just trade kind of sideways, at least for the time being, not really doing anything too crazy until 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is my prediction, at least for the market for the time being. That's what I'm seeing for SPY. Now, unlike SPY, Tesla had some bullish news. So Tesla is actually outperforming it a bit, and it's still slowly uptrending off this bullish wedge. So Tesla may attempt to go a little higher to 173.75, eventually 175. But we're going to be watching this resistance right here on our 50 EMA. So when we watch to see how Tesla reacts to 174.21, it might actually push a little bit, then come back down and trade sideways. I do see some potential for Tesla to outperform SPY, push a little bit more, come back down and continue to hold up. I think it might try to hold for now. One thing worth noting on Tesla is that there's a possible cup and handle like structure, right? This could be like a cup, this could be a handle. And whether this ends up playing out is going to be determined by Jerome Powell. If Jerome Powell and the Fed launch the markets, we could see Tesla launch to 180, completing this cup and handle. If not, if this is a trap and Tesla's about to fall, we could see Tesla push a little bit more, then eventually get a rug pull, and we have this gap down here to fill. For now, I do think that for the time being, as we open, Tesla's going to try to outperform the market, try to hold up. We could see Tesla attempt to push upon open, come back down, fill this gap at 171, come back up and just trade sideways, at least for the time being, and watch for a big move at 2 p.m. But Tesla may hold up a little bit better as we had bullish news about them raising prices. For the QQQ, as I predicted, I said that this thing may attempt to go a little higher than come back down. As of right now, we saw this thing push to about 440. Now it came back down again, and we're now shuffling at 439. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue to shuffle. The QQQ right over here is, I just want to show you this. The QQQ is, in my opinion, in a very, very interesting place. It is trying to uptrend a bit, and that's particularly thanks to other stocks out there that are trying to make more upside moves. But the QQQ is showing some life. It's trying to hold up so far. I could see this thing decline a little bit back down to 438 to 438.5. And then once we're in that area, we might pop again. So I just see some sideways price action. I do think it's going to drop just a little bit, come back up, trade sideways. I'm going to see a very, very sideways market for the time being until the FOMC meeting. That's the most likely possibility, and I do favor that view for now. Don't forget to watch 438 as support and 436. And we also have resistance at 440, not to mention 441 flat. Are we most likely going to do? In my opinion, I think there's a very good chance we kind of decline a little bit, come back up, trade sideways until Jerome Powell and the Fed come out. For Nvidia is showing me similar signs. Completely flat right now. For now, it did come back up to this resistance at 900, came back down. Going to be looking for it to decline towards 885. Maybe it goes a little bit lower, then comes back up. It might just trade sideways for now. And then we'll see what happens with the Fed. If the Fed launches this thing higher, 920 plus is coming. If we get a rug pull, we're going to be sinking down to the 860s. Otherwise, I just see us trading sideways for now. Not really a whole lot of excitement. Same thing with Apple. Apple, in my opinion, is going to likely attempt to remain range bound. Going to be looking for a push for 176.5. Watch support at 175.75, then 175 and 174. I think that Apple might just trade sideways. As you guys can see, it's not really doing a whole lot, kind of range bound for now. But if this is like a cup and handle, maybe it tries to push a little bit. This will depend on Jerome Powell and etc. If we break this 176.5 resistance, watch for 177. I think it's going to push a little bit, pop a little bit, come back down, and just continue to trade sideways in these two ranges right here. And then we'll have to see what happens after we get some announcements from the Fed and Jerome Powell. So with that being said, guys, I mean, that's what I'm seeing, at least for the time being, for the markets. And then I just want to note that when looking at the different charts out there, we have Supermicro and the others doing their thing. Supermicro's on a bit of a decline, as we predicted. We're just barely holding around this 889 area. We could be looking for a retest at 852, then a bounce again, and just sideways price action for now. But then there's going to be a big surge of volatility and a bigger move later on. Amazon is, in my opinion, just continuing to chop around a bit. And we're looking at resistance at 176 for the time being. It could try to uptrend a little bit, outperform the market, but if we do break past 176, our next target could be all the way up to about 178 if we continue to hold above 175.5 and try to continue this uptrend. Meta showing some life in the after hours. We ended up reaching my target of 500. Could go a little higher. We're going to watch and see if we could get up to about 500 flats and 503.5, and then watch resistance there. We could get a rejection. So watch for that carefully. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. Make sure you watch the levels I called out, and then we'll see how things go, especially as we approach Jerome Powell and the Fed. The market may decline a little bit, then come back up later, trade sideways for the most part, and then we're going to be watching for a big reaction after Jerome Powell and the Fed end up coming out. All right, so get ready, guys. Do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys in just about an hour and a half from now. Take care, and peace out.